So I have got every adult character in Palia here. The dateables and the non-dateables, because I know it's a hot topic of debate that some of the characters in Palia that aren't dateable should be dateable. And I personally agree. So I should probably start with how I'm going to tier these characters, because I've never done this before, so you don't know how I'm going to be rating them. Well, I'm going to rate them S to F, S to F, and S being like hubby material, like partner material, like they are top tier partner, you know. With F being the I've made a huge mistake. Like I should never ever date these, or I made a mistake dating this person, you know. That's what F tier is. And then like A to C, we just got like, I'm saying like A is like I would date this person for a short time, maybe, like they are a short-term relationship, whereas S tier is like long-term relationship, obviously like hubby material. And B is going to be, what did I put? Oh, so B is like buy dinner. So B is buy dinner. B for buy. B is buy dinner. I would definitely buy this person dinner. Well, maybe we'd go on a couple of dates, you know, just a few dates. Whereas C is a one-night stand. They're not quite F tier, like I've made a mistake, but they are, I would maybe, you know, I would possibly sleep with this person. That's where I'm going with C tier. This C is like the T's tier. But then as we work our way up, we're getting closer and closer to I will marry this person. So I'm going to start with, I'll start with the non-human characters. So I'll start with Einar. So Einar is the fisherman. And you know me, I do not like fishing. It is my least favourite thing to do in any game ever made. And it has been recommended to me that I do a tiered list on games with fishing in that I've played. So that may be coming up soon. But getting back to Einar. So he is a non-human character. Personally, just from appearances, I am not attracted to him, okay? Like in any way, shape or form. When I saw that he was a dateable character, I was like, that's questionable. Dateable? Really? I mean, he's got this shifty kind of face going on. I mean, and he looks quite moldy, doesn't he? I mean, if he's always in the water and he's a robot, he's probably rusting, let's be honest, and he looks a bit moldy. So maybe he's a bit whiffy. I don't know if I would date him if he was a human character. So let me just, I've got the Paleo wiki here. Let me just have a look at what it says about him. So Einar is an exceptionally tall gauger, standing heads and shoulders above everyone else. I mean, he has got that going for him. I'll give him that. I mean, I do like tall guys. His arms are long and flexible and good for hugs. Wrapped around his torso is a cargo net, which he uses to carry his fishing bobbers. Well, I guess it's kind of like having a bag, I suppose. I mean, he could carry my stuff for me. He could carry my purse. He could carry my phone, maybe. Well, I said net, maybe not. That was slip through the net. But if I had anything else, he could carry my shopping for me. He may be getting out of F tier. Right, traces of moss and rust. Traces of moss and rust are present on Einar, primarily along the crevices of his body. Oh, no. Oh, that makes me just recoil. Okay, back to S tier. I'm sorry, back to F tier. He's slowly going back down again. Einar wears a weathered straw hat, charmingly decorated with wild grass and a yellow flower. Aww. I think personally I'm going to put Einar in... F tier. Like, it would be a mistake. Because he can easily draw me in. Like, because he's kind of cute in the way that he bobs down to talk to you, and he's got his little yellow flower. But when it says that he's got moss and rust in his crevices, and you might find that out later because I didn't know about that. I didn't realise that. It would be a huge mistake to date him. Moving on to the second non-human character, we have Hekla, Gina's Gina's nanny and constant companion. Even though Jina is like a young adult, Hekla really just like is in her pockets, basically. Wherever Jina goes, Hekla goes. Personally, that would be too much for me. I need my personal space. So I'm getting the feeling that Hekla is very clingy straight away. She has strong maternal instincts, though, so she would make a good mother. I mean, there is that. So getting relationship vibes there. So Hekla sings. She's very clingy, but she'd make a good mother. She's over 3,000 years old. Again, it's got moss growing on her. However, I've never seen her in the water, so I don't think she's rusting. So she's pretty clean, I think. So she wouldn't smell. Why do I keep going to body odor? So my first initial vibes of Hekla is kind of like warm and comforting, and somebody who I would want to have a conversation with, I think, and learn about their history. She's kind of getting like I would say like grandma vibes I'm getting from her. So I don't know if I really want to date her because she's obviously a lot older than me. But I think she I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe I'd buy her dinner. I think I would buy Hekla dinner because, of course, I'd want to have a conversation with her. I'd want to know about her history, her past, and, you know, all about her, basically. I find her quite interesting, but I do not find her attractive. Let me just pull up her wiki. Let's have a look. So, Hekla is a rotund Galja, shorter than Einar, but still taller than the rest of the villagers in Kilima Valley. Her long cable arms extend nearly to the ground. Again, good for hugs. We do like huggable arms. Each ending with an oversized hand that has 3 fingers and an opposable thumb. Her stomach features a large circular component. Ooh, I never really noticed that before. It does look like a bit of a safe, doesn't it? Like there's potentially, like there's actually even, let me just go back to it. Yeah, there's like a hinge on her stomach there. I mean, I have not finished Palia, by the way. There could totally be like something like in Hekla. I don't know. Is she pregnant? Is she carrying? Because I don't know if I want to date somebody. No, that's horrible. I'm not going to say that. I don't know if I want to date somebody who's pregnant because I don't want children. Oh dear, that's so bad to say, but it's so true. As a childless woman in her nearly 40s, I do not want children in my life right now. Mind you, if they're cute little robots, that's fine. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to put Hekla in B tier. So buy dinner, but I wouldn't sleep with. Okay, so who should we look at next? I think next on my card I had Hassian. Now I know that Hassian is everybody's favourite boy, or everybody's favourite man-child, shall we say? Personally, I'm not about this man. First impressions of Hassian when he was like one of the first characters I came across in the game in Kilima, actually, is he was really sulky, rude and aloof. They were like the vibes I was getting from him. And obviously, yeah, young adult, that definitely came across, because as an older woman, I just did not gravitate to him. Like, I didn't even want to talk to him very much. I just didn't like the dialogue with him. However, as I've got to know him throughout the game, his demeanor has changed. He has become a bit more open, a bit more charming, and I have learned obviously that he is very much a mummy's boy. He does love his mum and cares about her very much. He's very protective. Like it says here, he's very protective, and he is a dog parent. You know, he is, well, I don't know if Tao is technically his dog. I mean, they're more like buddies, and he is a hunter. I mean, he's got good strong arms. If you're a hunter, you need strong arms. So, what is it with me and arms? Where is that coming from? I didn't know I had that. But apparently arms are very important to me. However, he is young and much too young for me. I don't know what age he is, but I'm putting him about early 20s, I think. And I'm not about younger men. So I definitely would not marry Hassian. So I'm going to say that. I'd definitely not marry him. Would I be in a short-term relationship with him? I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would date him at all. One night stand? Maybe. God, I hope my husband does not ever see this. Mind you, he would have something to say about Tamala, and we'll get to her in a minute. He probably has a cute butt. I mean, he's a hunter. He looks after his physique. He's definitely warmed on me as I've got to know him. And if he showed me interest, I probably would not say no. I would touch that butt. I would touch the butt. But I would not marry. But I'm going to have a look at Kenley, a little bit about you, Kenley. Kenley just makes me laugh. I love him so much. I just want to give him a big squeeze and a kiss on the cheek, because this man is like, he needs more love than he is getting from his wife right now. I would definitely 100% take Kenley to dinner. I would buy this man dinner. I would not date him short term. I definitely would not marry him, because he is already married and I'm not about that. He is married to Eshe, father of Kenyatta, a bumbling politician, describes him perfectly, second child of a duke, talks a lot without saying much, a people pleaser whose opinion changes easily. He definitely wants to be out and about around among other people. He doesn't like conflict. I've definitely got that vibe from him. He wants me to do a lot of his errands for him, so he doesn't have to be on the receiving end of any arguments, especially from Delaila. Delaila scares him. I think Delaila possibly scares him more than Eshe does. So I want to hug him. I want to take him to dinner again, just very much like Hekla. I want to listen to his stories. I reckon he's got some really good stories to tell. I would play cards with this guy. He very much reminds me of my father-in-law, and I think that's why I love him so much. However, my father-in-law is not a people pleaser. He's very much his own person. Actually, my father-in-law is very much a cross between Kenley and Einar. So I would definitely take Kenley to dinner, so I could give him a hug and a big kiss on his cheek and say, "You are loved, my man. Do not let Eshe take advantage of you. We all love you in town." Where do we live? Where do we live? I forgot what the town's name is. We all love you in Killamar. Kenley, you're moving up to B tier. You're along with Hekla. One character I'm actually dating right now is Reth. So let's talk about our favourite chef. I actually met Tish before I met Reth and kind of fell a little bit in love with Tish. I started dating her before I started dating her brother, and now it's a little bit awkward because I'm dating both of them. He likes to play flirt. Even when you're not dating him, he's kind of play flirting. And so he's very much fun. I enjoy talking to Reth. However, again, he's very much a young man. I would say he's around the same age as Hassian. Maybe a little bit older. I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit older than Hassian. Works a day shift at the inn. He works non-stop, this man. You would never see him. If you were to date him, good luck. He has all the money, I think. Because he's got about 3 different jobs. He works at the inn as a chef. He works at the underground as a chef. So he works days and he works nights. And he's also got like a delivery business on the side as well, I believe. So he really is like, and he goes to, and he works on market stalls. He does everything. So he is a workaholic. You're never going to see him. However, when you do see him, he's going to spoil you rotten. He is really going to spoil you. And that's the hard thing about guys like this, isn't it? The ones that spoil you, but then disappear. The ones that really the ones that make you sigh. They steal your heart and then they run away with it. That is Reth. He's prone to acting before thinking. So he says a lot before he actually, he just kind of spews out all his thoughts. And then he's like, tries to take them back. And you're like, no, it's out there now. You said that, my man. You said that. I'm sorry, but you can't take that back. And he says here, believes his all lettuce vegetable soup to be the talk of the town. Who's drinking? Who is eating lettuce vegetable soup? Own up. Because I have never had lettuce vegetable soup in my life. I mean, he's going to feed you well. And I kind of want to put him in deed here. Don't shout. Do not scream at me all at once. A woman, you do not know what you're talking about. The thing is, I feel like Reth would be a huge mistake. Because I would date him. I would definitely sleep with this man. But later on, he would possibly break my heart into a million pieces. And I wouldn't know why. You know, it's one of those kind of things. It would be like he'd either have to run off to some other amazing new job that he's found, or because he's a workaholic, or he will have attracted another girl because he really is a bit of a playboy. Let's be honest. I mean, he has got that about him, and I have a feeling he would absolutely break my heart. And later on in in our relationship, I feel like I'm actually dating him. I think he would break my heart, and I would later then regret ever having dated this man. So I'm sorry everybody that's screaming on the screen right now, but I am absolutely going to have to put him in F tier. I'm so sorry, where is he? I've already put him there before I even thought I was going to put him there. I know these type of men. Okay, so we can't talk about Reth without talking about his sister Tish, can we? So let's talk about Tish next. And let's not put her in F tier. We'll get to this guy in a minute. So, Tish. Oh my God. She is such a cutie. She is honestly the sweetest young little lady. She was the first character that I met when I entered Killimer, and my first ever playthrough of Palia. She was walking across the. I even remember the first time I met her. That's how much of a cutie she is. She was walking across the bridge. I think she was walking into Kilima or out of Kilima. I can't remember. But she was the first one that I started speaking to. And I was like, oh my God, I want you to be my bestie. Like, you are so, so cute. She's obviously like the crafter of Kilima. She makes everything. You can tell by her little apron with everything in it. She's very much a hobbyist. I would call Tish. She would be a cozy gamer. Come on. Tish would be a cozy gamer. She moved to the village to recover from a health condition. Now, I'm not sure 100% what that health condition was. I don't know if it's ever actually mentioned in the game. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody anyway. But as somebody who has also had to suffer through chronic illness, who's had endometriosis and adenomyosis, and lived many, many, many years in pain, I very much relate to this character. And I respect the devs for putting a character like this in the game, because you do not see enough characters with chronic health conditions or any kind of health conditions like this or spoken about like this. And like, as you progress through the dialogue with Tish, you realize how much it has impacted her life as well, and how she has to just take it easy now. And I've really fallen in love with her, I think, because of this. She also like loves accessorizing. She's obviously a beautiful, beautiful young lady. I imagine her being like the popular kid in school, you know, because she's really likable, so everybody would gravitate to her, but she wouldn't be that mean girl, you know? Like she would be the likable popular. There's always like a mean girl and like the likable one, isn't there? I don't know what would you call the likable one in school? Like, because I remember there was a mean girl that everybody obviously, I'm not going to name names from the girls in my school, in case anybody like I grew up with watches this and goes, excuse me, I was not a mean girl. There's always that mean girl, and I can even picture her. However, there was also the soft girl, the popular soft girl that I was jealous of, you know, because all of my friends loved her. They always wanted to be around her. At break time, there's always a group of girls around her, even boys, and they just wanted to be in her glow, you know? She's just radiant. Radiant is the best way to explain it. The best way to describe Tish is she is radiant. And I actually do feel like people who have been through like a health crisis generally come out the other side very much like Tish. They are bubbling with positivity. They've got a great outlook on life. They just want to live and just love and have fun and enjoy what they couldn't enjoy, basically. You know, they are people that you love to be around. This is the first character I'm putting on my S tier, chef's kiss, S tier, marry this woman, okay? She is wife material. She is wifey. Where's Tish? So Tish is going in S tier. She's the first one that's going up there. Yay! I would marry this woman. Okay, so I said I'd get to this man right here. S tier, straight away. So backstory to why Cloud Strife is on this list. I was going to do just a generic like characters, like a dateable characters list, and then I was like started adding all the Palia ones, and I realized how many there were, and I was like, actually no, I'm just going to switch over to Palia. And then I forgot to delete him because he's Cloud, but Cloud is going in S tier. Moving on. Okay, so I'm going to now have a look at a non-dateable character. I'm going to look at the man who I wanted to be my shep, who is Ashura. Now, Ashura is Kilima's daddy. He is everybody's go-to man for great stories and just to tell their problems to. I mean, because he is obviously the Ormu's Horn Inn. I can't even say that. He runs the Ormu's Horn Inn. That's such a mouthful, but I can't say. He runs the pub. in Kilima, okay? He runs the bar. He runs the hub, basically, of Kilima. That's where everybody goes. Everybody like, day ends, tool down, shut up shop. We're off to the Ormu's Horn, you know? He runs that. So he is the person you want to tell all your troubles to at the end of the day, and you just want to listen to his stories and just let you lull. His voice is just going to lull you to sleep. You know, he has that sort of voice. However, he has a very sad backstory. He lost his wife. He was devoted to his wife. And for that reason, I don't think he's a dateable character. Like, he has not recovered from the death of his wife, and he has no interest in moving on. And I think that's kind of nice. It is nice that, like, honestly, every day he goes to Remembrance Garden. Every day you see him visiting his wife's grave. You cannot date a man like that who has not recovered from the loss of his wife. You can't help but feel sorry for him. You really can't. However, I can see myself, like, I will try and not well up. But I could very much be like him. And if I lost, you know, my husband in the future, I would definitely be like that. I could definitely see myself just, you know, like I wouldn't be able to move on. And I would probably visit him every day. Why don't these characters get to me so much? It's a good job I don't put mascara on my bottom lashes. So, yeah. Again, like, Ashura would be somebody who I buy dinner. He's definitely going in B tier straight away. He says that he uses his broom. His broom is actually a repurposed sword, and I didn't even know that. I had no idea that. I had no idea. He's a military, like ex-military, I believe. So he really does have some good stories to share. Won't be upset if you get him a bad gift. He'll simply be disappointed. Ouch. I haven't actually given him a bad gift yet, so I've not experienced that. But that's definitely giving daddy vibes again. It's like I'm disappointed in you. You know better. So Ashura is going in at B tier. I have a feeling B tier is going to get very full by the end of this video. Okay, so let's have a look at dateable character now. Let's completely go off on a tangent, and let's look, because I need something to make me smile. Let's have a look at Jina. So Jina is the first character that you actually come across in the game. Like, even like in the cutscene as you're entering the game, she is the first person that you see, the first human, well, human-like character. Nobody's technically human in this game. You're the only human, but she's a human-like character. She's a Majiri, I'm assuming. So she is an apprentice scholar at the Bahara Institute. So she's still still in school. So she's very young, doing her thesis on the human reemergence. Has a golem companion. That's Hekla. Hekla is her nanny, her companion, and she loves old books. I very much get like Indiana Jones vibes from her. She very much loves her history and wants to know why something has happened, and I love that curiosity about her. Like, I love that energy. She's she's quite reserved and fairly shy, but she is bookish, so that makes sense. She just kind of buries herself in her books and in history, and she is actually a great friend. I am currently just starting to date her in the game. However, I didn't want to date her because I just didn't. She doesn't give dateable vibes to me. She is very young, and I think she should be focusing on her studies personally and not dating. I will go mummy on your ass. But however, for the purpose of the game, obviously I am dating her just to progress some of her storyline. I don't really know where to put her. Because she is wifey material, you know? But she's very, very young. So for the time being, I'm not going to put her in wife material. I think I'm going to put her in B tier again, just buy her dinner. Because I wouldn't want to have a one night stand with her. And I don't think dating her would be a mistake. So I'm going to put her in B tier. I mean, I don't really have a huge amount to say about Jina because, like, she's just kind of she's like the guide of the game, you know? So I feel like for that reason, I've got to know her very much as a guide, and she'd actually make a really good shep. But I would not want to date her. But she would make a good wife for somebody, I reckon, in the future. She would be a dateable character, not a one night stand character, you know? But she's too young. She needs to focus on her studies. Now, I always get this man's name wrong. Chayne, I think it is. Chayne. So Chayne is the sage of Kilima. He very much is like your go-to person if you want to pray or know about the stars, you know, like birthstones and things like that. He knows a lot about mythology, basically. Yeah, I just don't have a lot to say about Chayne, to be honest. I just don't really talk to him other than if I've got a quest that I need to complete, I go and see him. I don't think he has a massive role, so I'm gonna put him really quickly just under B tier, because again, I would buy him dinner. You know, I would not marry him, I would not date him, definitely would not sleep with him, and he would not be a mistake. Well, he would be a mistake if I slept with him because he's a sage, but he would not make me regret it, I don't think. So he's going and beat it. Let's have a look at Tamala next. She is my husband's shep. Okay, so Tamala was on the map, but I didn't know she existed until somebody pointed her out and started talking about her. And I was like, who's Tamala? And then I went to the Bahari map and I was like, oh, what's this dot? I hadn't even spoken to her. And she is an adult. I'd say she's probably about my age. I reckon about 38. She's giving 38 vibes, I reckon. She's quite sultry, I think is a good way to describe her. And I would definitely sleep with her. So she's like the witch of Bahara Bay. So she's skilled in potion making, and she's kind of tucked out of the way. She's a little bit mysterious, I think. Has the best beauty secrets. I mean, that's debatable because I've done that quest line. Occasionally seen with the hunter. She has dated Hassian, so she kind of likes younger guys. My husband straight away gravitated to her. I mean, obvious reasons. Look at her. She's gorgeous. And she was his shep. And I almost missed his shep ceremony. I literally walked in from doing the washing up and I was like, excuse me, you're in the middle of your shep ceremony and Tamala is your shep and you didn't tell me. I feel like he's seeing her on the side. And I actually have not... I've not dated her yet in game, and I've not even completed her level 3 quest, I don't think. I'm not sure, actually. She's probably the last character that I've started to level up, so I don't really know a whole lot about her other than she is quite... she's quite forward. Sometimes when I'm listening to my husband play the game, and she'll just start speaking, and I'll just look at him and go, really? And he'll just smile. I'm like, damn, you two, get a room. So I honestly do feel like if I slept with her, I would regret it. I would definitely regret it. She's not wife material in the slightest. And I think she likes it that way. Come on. She's very much a player. So I would definitely sleep with her. But I feel like I would regret sleeping with her. So, unfortunately, she's going down an F tier. Along with Reth and Einar. Good job I didn't put her in C. She would have been there with Hassian. So I'm going to have a look now at... let's have a look at Kenyatta. Kenyatta has like bad girl energy. She would get you into a lot of trouble if you dated her. I think before I even start describing her, I know I'm going to put her in F tier because she would be a mistake. She would get me in a lot of trouble. She's the girl that you bring home to your parents and then they go, really? Really? We know this relationship is not going to last. So she is the magistrate's daughter. She is the daughter of Kenji and Eshe. She hasn't declared her path yet, so she doesn't really know where she's going in life, and she's kind of figuring things out. And I like that about her because when I was her age, I was very much the same. I did not have a set path. I did not have any like career goals that I wanted to attain, or like I didn't even know what I wanted to do, go off and do at college. You know, I had no idea. I knew I was creative and that I liked drawing, I liked acting, I liked dancing. I was just a creative spirit, really. However, I was suffering a lot with my undiagnosed endometriosis at the time. And I remember saying to Mum, I was literally sitting at my PC and I was looking for jobs because I was unemployed. And I remember turning around and like, I was on my period at that time. I remember turning around and saying to Mum, who will hire somebody who has to take a week off every month? Because that's what it was like. I was in pain for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, every month. Like that's how much pain I was in. And that's why I struggled to focus on having any kind of career path, like working out what I wanted to do. Never mind like what job I was just looking like. I think I was looking at jobs, part-time jobs at the time, because of course I was like applying for college as well. So I was looking at part-time jobs. But the thing is though, I was like, so they want me to work every week, every weekend, plus I have to go to college, and I know I'm going to be in pain. Like, I could not work this out when I was growing up. I could not work this out. However, getting back to Kenyatta, who hasn't declared her path, I very much relate with her because of that and what it was like for me. And I was very much like that bad girl growing up. I was Kenyatta. I was the one that wanted to wear the tight leather leggings and the knee length boots, and I think I even have a picture of me dressed like that at some point, and like the crop tops and the messy long hair. So like I think I even had black hair at one point. I chopped all my hair off and I dyed it black. You know, I was that bad girl. I was the mistake. I was the girl you slept with. I know you regret it later. And I loved it so much. It was a lot of fun. So I very much relate to her. And I think actually for that reason, I'm not going to put her in F. No, I'm not going to put her in F. I'm going to put her in C because I would sleep with her. And even though I might regret it later, I think I'd look back and think, do you know what? I had fun. And I don't regret having fun. So I'm going to put her in C tier. Okay, so let's get some of the non-dateable ones out of the way. So let's have a look at Eshe. So I don't know if I pronounce her name right, Eshe, but I just like saying it like that, Eshe. Eshe gives me Mrs. Bouquet vibes or Mrs. Bucket vibes. If you ever watched Keeping Up Appearances, that's what it was called. If you ever watched that, I'm showing my age now. I just imagine Mrs. Bouquet when I see her. So she was born into the elite governing class, frenemies with the Duchess. I love that she's a frenemy. I like that. Keep your enemies close. That's what I say. Magistrate for the village and unhappily married to the mayor. So on her side, she's not very happy in the marriage. So she could potentially stray, couldn't she? Whereas with Kenley, I see him as very loyal. Like, I imagine he's very loyal to Eshe and probably loves her very much deep down. However, she's the problem in their marriage. She's not happy with Kenley. I think it's because she needs somebody who can tell her what to do. Whereas Kenley's a bit of a pushover and he's very much a people pleaser. And Eshe is very much her own person. She knows what she wants, you know? I love her for that. I want to be Eshe. I so have those colours. I want to be, I mean, look at what she's wearing, the gorgeous robe, you know, she's got the fascinator in her hair, and I just want to be like, I want to walk around town like Eshe and just, you know. I love her so much. She's clearly unhappily married to Kenley, so she's probably willing to stray and have an affair. She already looks like she's just got out of bed and, you know, she's just had a one night stand, just smoking, you know. I actually think I would possibly possibly date her for a short time. Like, she wouldn't be a one night stand because, I mean, she's got that sultry look to her. I mean, you'd go back. You'd go back. She's the sort of woman you can't have just one night with. So what's the matter with me? This is so weird. This is so weird right now. She's definitely going to be the first one I put in A tier. I am such a weird person. Okay. Sticking to a non-dateable, I'm going to have a look at Delaila now. Now, I don't know if you say that, like her name like that, Delaila. So Delaila is definitely Killimer's mum. You know, like she is the one that will if you knock at her door at midnight in tears, she will welcome you with open arms and she will make you dinner or breakfast. She will literally sit you down the table and be like, tell me all about it. You're not going until you've eaten something, you know? And I don't actually speak to her very much in the game. She's obviously off on her own out on the farm with her husband, Badruu, but I just haven't really spoken to her very much. She does stay out late, you know. And I have noticed, and I said this to my husband, have you noticed that Delaila and Badruu, husband, do not sleep in the same bedroom? He is always out in the barn. However, they do seem very much in love. I think they're at that stage in their relationship where they're so comfortable with each other that they don't need to be in each other's pockets. I mean, it says here that she's fiercely devoted to her family, stubborn but generous to a fault, sees every day as a new opportunity no matter how hard the last one was. So she has an amazing positive outlook. She really does. And I can just imagine like Badruu just like snoring and her just constantly just kicking him out of bed and just being like, look, just go and sleep in the barn. Okay, I need to sleep. We've got to be up early. She would definitely be a by dinner. So I'm going to have to put her in B because I would not date her. She's happily married to Badruu. And talking of Badruu, he's also just going to go straight in there as well. I would buy him dinner. He is full of dad jokes. And honestly, I'm like, oh my God, enough, please. I hate the dad jokes. I would buy them both dinner together. I would sit down together with them. Okay, moving on. Let's have a look at Caleri. Now, I think you say Caleri. Caleri? Is it Caleri? Ooh, it might be Caleri. When I first met her, she was very, very stern. Very much like she gave teacher vibes, you know? Like, do not cross her boundaries, basically. You stay on the other side of the counter. But as I've like got to know her and warmed to her, I've even noticed myself when I'm like walking into the library, I don't stand on that side on the other side of the counter. I actually walk around to her and talk to her on her side of the counter. So the game has very much made me feel like there was a boundary there, and I've been allowed to step over it as I've got to know her. And it's so weird, but I just realised that. And because of course now I can enter her room as well, and she lets me see obviously behind the scenes, I do feel a lot more comfortable around her. And as I've got to know her, I've warmed to her a lot, and I would definitely date Caleri. She's very knowledgeable. She knows a lot, so she would be very good at quizzes. You'd want to take her to a pub quiz. You'd take her down the Ormuz Inn for a quiz night. It says here she's mistrustful at first, but also very reliable. I mean, you have to be reliable as a librarian. You're looking after some possibly rare books, you know. So you have to be a reliable person. I wanted to be a librarian when I was growing up, because I think it's because I spent a lot of time in the library myself. Because I came from a single parent family, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. We were always on dole, basically, on job seekers. And so the only way I could have books was to get them from the library. So I was either at my local library, my library in the next town over, or I was at my school library. I was always there. I loved reading. I loved fiction books as well as non-fiction. Anything I just devoured it. However, I am the worst at retaining knowledge. And I would definitely date Caleri for that reason. We'd get on. I think we'd actually get on really well. So I'm going to put her in a short-term relationship. So I'd have a short-term relationship with her probably. Could I see myself marrying her? Long-term, I don't think would work out. Now let's look at this little fellow here. Zeki. Now, when I first found out that you could date Zeki, I was like, excuse me, I do not think so. Who would date him? He is mischievous. He is possibly a thief. He is always peddling something that he should not be peddling. He's also a Grimlican, and I'm a human. I don't feel like we work. I mean, what is he packing downstairs? I don't want to know. He runs a general store. He's close with Ashura at the inn. It says there sometimes peddles questionable goods and loves a good joke, but probably at your expense. As I've got to know him, he has like softened slightly, and he does sometimes give like kitten vibes. Like just kind of like that. And I worry that if we were to have a drink at the Ormuz Inn, and we started talking and he started gushing, I have a feeling he would be a one night stand, and I would severely regret that in the morning. I actually think, he could possibly soften me, and it would end up being a huge mistake. So I'm going to put you there, because I know you'd be a one night stand, but I would 100% regret that one night stand in the morning. Okay, let's have a little look at Subira. Now, Subira was the last character I ever actually have found in the game, because it took me so long to progress that storyline to get her in the game. So Subira is a watcher from the Order. She is a Majiri, and she is basically come to Kilima later on in the game just to have a look at see what's going on with Flow, see who's using it and what's like happening. Basically, she's here to keep an eye on us, but she is stunning. I mean, look at her. I mean, the devs just done so well in designing her. She looks like about a 40 to 45-year-old woman, and you can see she's got like the baggies under her eyes, she's got the wrinkles around her nose and just on her chin, and she's got a few wrinkles on her face. And I love that, because you do not see enough wrinkles in video games. There's not enough diversity in age in video games, so I love this so much, and I love that about her. I think she's absolutely stunning, and I actually think that she is 100% wife material. I love her so much, and when I start dating her, I know I'm gonna like just fall madly in love with this woman. So I'm gonna put her there even though I haven't started dating her yet. Let's have a look now at Sifuu. Sifuu is so much fun. I love her. She's such a laugh. I love that she's always down the Ormu's Inn, and I know where I'm gonna find her basically. She's got the good arms. She's got the good arms. She'll give you a good hug if she will. She I think has a wife. I'm pretty sure I've heard her speak about her wife in Palia. I don't think she's in the game though. And I can't think if she's been mentioned by name. I feel like she's one of the most known characters in the game. She's very distinctive and she stands out. She's very tall. And she's just really, really funny. And I think she would be an amazing wife material. I mean, she's very handy. So she'll do a lot of the DIY. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. I think all you need to do is just cook her something good and she'd be happy. I mean, you could get some tips from Reth. I think she's definitely more than a one night stand. I definitely would marry this woman. She's going in Eshe. Now, everybody loves to hate this next character. Let's have a look at Gel. Now, the reason I say everybody loves to hate Gel is because I've heard a lot of different opinions on him. Some people absolutely adore him and think he's the best, like, boyfriend material ever. And then you got others that are just like, no, just no. He's like Marmite. That's what he is. He's like Marmite. He already owns a business. He's not a college or anything like that. He is a skilled tailor. So he's definitely like late 20s. I'm putting him there. He says he's the youngest of 6. I'm the oldest of 4. So I know what it's like to come from a big family. He very much cares about his appearance. And you know that this man smells good. You know he smells good. I couldn't see myself dating somebody who was that well dressed 24/7 because I would feel like I'm not good enough basically for him. And for that reason, I would put him possibly in short-term relationship. Because of course, he would definitely I like somebody who smells good, okay? And he would entice me with his smell. But then after dating him for a little while, I would realize that we just clash. Like there's absolutely, he would constantly try to put me in better clothes. Let's look at the last lady on our list. Let's look at, what's her name? Elouisa. Now, I think in the game, it's just pronounced Elouise, I think. But because it's got an A on it, I don't know if it's because it's the English way of saying it. I'm not sure. But if it's got an A on it, I want to say Elouisa. So that's how I say it. I say Elouisa. And she's very much the bug lady. I mean, she loves her bugs, obviously. Look at her. She's got a bug on her top, bug on her. She's got bug jewelry. I mean, I want that ring. I'm sorry, but I want that ring. That ring is cute. She's the sort of person that she's very like active and she has high energy and she always wants to talk. Like I get that from her, you know. Whereas I'm quite reserved and just kind of sit back and just listen. But I'd feel like I can never actually get a word in edgeways. And she's always very much in her head and she's always like thinking about like the next like bug that she's going to catch sort of thing. And she doesn't get on with her sister. I actually prefer her sister. I would go out to lunch with her, you know, sit down, we'd have a chat and I'd just let her talk at me and then we'd go our separate ways. But I would definitely not sleep with her and I would definitely not marry her. Now, I've left the best 2 for last because I know that these are probably the most popular men in the game. So let's start with everybody's favorite hunk. No. Neo is Arnie's older brother, and he is such a good brother. He really looks after Arnie, and he helps run the family farm. So he's always on the farm, he's always lifting, he's always working out, and it's very much gym bro energy, you know, it's very like Gaston when I see him, and I've never really gravitated to that sort of personality. I don't really like gym goers very much. I mean, I've tried going to the gym myself and I just don't get on with it whatsoever. I mean, I work in a supermarket, so my job's quite physical anyway, so I'd rather get my like workout from working than from going to a gym. Maybe I'm getting him wrong, but when I speak to him, I just see Gaston, just very vain, and for that reason I could not ever date him. I could see him being a one night stand. I mean, he's probably got a cute butt. He is a hopeless romantic, and he is dating Kenyatta. But I just don't like gym bros. I just don't like that. And for some reason, like, he is a very popular dateable character in the game. I mean, maybe it's because he keeps talking about taking his top off. And for that reason, he's going in C tier. Funnily enough, he's also going alongside Kenyatta. It's funny because she's like a bad girl, but he's a good boy. You know, he's vain, but he's a good boy. He's like, you know, he's a family guy. But yeah, I'd sleep with him, but I would not date him. And so that brings us to the last character in Palia, the last adult character in Palia. He is dateable. He is Hodari. I could swoon all day over this man because, oh my God, did the game devs get this man so right? I'm stumbling on my words. He is gorgeous. He is the opposite of a gym bro. You know, he is a man that got his muscles from working 24/7, pretty much like mining just to make ends meet. He is fit as. He's Najuma's father. He is a widower, and he very, very much loved his wife. And I know for a fact that if she was still alive, they would still be married and a happy family unit. However, he has moved on, unlike Ashura, who has not moved on from the death of his wife. And he has, like, he's open to having another relationship. And I slotted right in there. I saw those arms open wide and I was like, let me in. Let me rest my head on your shoulder. He loves steak, hates fish. Love that about a man. It's also very similar to my husband, who's allergic to fish. That's probably why I like him. He's a man of few words, but we don't mind that, do we, ladies? Why am I so giggly? This is how you know when a game gets a character right, because I am lost for words when I see him. I honestly, even though I've completed his main quest line. I've dated him 100% and got his pin. And even now, knowing that there's no more extra dialogue for him, and whenever I see him walking towards me, like in Kilima or in Bahara Bay, I have to stop and say hi. There's something about him. He just makes me melt, and I want more. I don't want the story to end with him. I want more. Can we please go on more dates? Can we just date these characters? Like, can we just date these characters? Just take them out to dates once we finish them, please. Singularity 6, please, can we date? Just continue dating these characters. I love him so much. And you know, he is 100% going in S tier. I would say that he is nearly, nobody can touch Cloud for me. Nobody can touch, nobody can get anywhere near to Cloud status for me. Cloud is chef's kiss, top tier. However, Hodari got very close.